All right, Joy, we are going to loop around again. That's a great story about finding your new bestie. I love it. And just because I know how um, reaching out to so many people has become part of your week and part of your time invested as far as your advocacy goes, you know that there are people who can um, get you to that next level and get your story out there and tell more people. So I love that you've connected with somebody like that. I think it's beautiful. But
I
with
want to help her find Celine Dion, actually, because
yes.
she's the one that really deserves to meet this lady.
Isn't that beautiful? I love it. You warm my heart every time I connect with you. I just think that's so special. But of course, we do want to get back to the conversation about what led us to that portion of your connection with Macy, and that is your treatments, what you've been on, some of the pharmaceuticals that you've been given, and some of the effects. I think that that's really the message that you are trying to get out to your to the public today. And I'd like if you have that accessible, maybe you can share some of that and share what you experienced when you were on those particular treatments.
So I'm going to tell you about the drugs that I was on. I can't
Okay.
explain my radiation because I don't understand it, and I let my husband be involved, advocate, and what I
Okay.
need, talk to the doctor. So I don't know what kind of radiation I got.
Okay.
In terms of my drugs, I got originally I had a drug called Fulfox. So this is, I believe, for colon cancer. I don't know what other cancers use Fulfox. And when I took that, it was never explained to me until I was at the hospital, the main side effect that would really harm my life. And that's that I would develop neuropathy from it. Not
Oh,
saying that everybody does, but they
uh-huh.
told me at the hospital that I need to wear gloves in the kitchen. And I'm not talking about a plastic glove. I'm talking about a warm winter glove because I could not touch a tomato without my hands being frozen. And
Oh my
I
gosh.
was shocked, and I don't feel bad for myself. I find it very cool that I experimented and the science. When I
Uh-huh.
came home and touched a tomato,
Yes.
everything was ice cold. I couldn't touch the foods. So my mother went on Amazon like she always does. The next day, I had two pairs of gloves waiting for me.
Right.
Now, if you think I followed there and sat and cooked food for seven people using gloves, you know very well I never used them.
Right.
So I did what I could. I couldn't touch frozen items. They were ice cold, and you couldn't put um, ice in your mouth, ice cream. Your
Yes.
mouth would explode like a fizzy candy. I
Oh
can't
my
even
goodness. So how
yeah.
long were you on that medication?
Well, I was on the full fox for maybe 6 months. It was every 2 weeks. I had 12 rounds of treatment. So it was more than 6 months because I was so sick I had to take a break, maybe 7 months. By the time the treatment ended, neuropathy started in my feet. It was terrible tingliness in my feet. It was pain in my feet. It was sorry, a guy just passed by. I'm not really supposed to be in this cabana.
Oh.
Um, it was excruciating pain. And I talked to my doctor and he put me on something, I believe it's called gabapentin.
Oh
It's
yes.
Lyrica.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And I tried it for a few days and I couldn't drive on this. I would be falling asleep. The medication was way too heavy for me. I had to get off of it. So it was horrible, but it wasn't every night. And it got worse when I got off the full fox. That
Uh-huh.
in the cold, I couldn't go out in the winter. It doesn't matter. You could be in a hot tub, your foot is ice cold. It's something inside my body that I felt like ice all the time.
That
And
is,
it was crazy, and it's gone this year. This winter has been my best winter yet. I've needed 6 Lyricas. That's it all winter. Though on our ride to California, because we wanted to save money, we came here on points. We had to drive from Montreal to Connecticut. We get out in Connecticut to go to a hotel, and they weren't prepared for the snow that they got. I stepped in ice wearing running shoes, and my feet on the plane the next day were soaking wet. Neuropathy flared. You don't understand. I don't even know if I had clean socks. I put them by the I must have found socks. I don't know. And then we continued on our journey. And when we got to California, when I had panic attacks, when my anxiety flares, my neuropathy flares. My
oh,
hands
okay.
now
Well,
start
that makes
tingling,
sense.
but I can't complain because it's not the type of pain that I'm screaming anymore.
Uh-huh.
It's manageable pain.
When you were on the medication for those 6 or 7 months, did um, that cold sensation throughout your body remain the entire time you were on the
No,
medication?
it really got worse after.
Oh,
It
I
really
see.
got worse after. It was just, but touching things,
Uh-huh.
things were ice cold. It didn't
Yeah,
make any sense how you could
right,
touch a yogurt for my son to put in his
right.
lunchbox and it's cold.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't figured that one out yet. Anyways, I'll go on. I'll explain to you
yes.
the medication that I was on next. I honestly don't know if the doctor thought the Folfox wasn't working or if it was because of my neuropathy. Apparently, there's not that much that they could do for your neuropathy. I have to live with it. And the way I understand it is isn't gonna be too much more research put into that, unfortunately. I don't know if this is true, but this is what my understanding. I then went on to, I guess, a sister medication. It's called Full Fury. And I was able to touch food. And I don't believe that Full Fury gave me neuropathy because, I mean, my neuropathy has started getting better. Slowly, it's been
Oh,
getting better.
oh,
It's
interesting.
it only flares up during anxiety because I'm in the heat now. Okay,
Hmm.
specifically in the cold, on cold days in Montreal, it will flare up. But days that I'm having a rough days, this week I'm having a really rough week. I've needed to take, I think I told you, hydromorphone, morphine,
Yes,
whatever, and my
yes.
hands have been flaring. So, but I'm lucky because I could hold a pen. Maybe some people can't because your hands can really get bad that you can't even use your hands.
Oh,
Some
my.
people, you could stop being able to feel your feet. You can't walk,
Right,
perhaps.
right,
Who know,
right,
who knows?
right.
I don't know what other
I was
people.
just going to ask you how it was to walk, or if you felt your shoes, or what,
It was
if you,
hard.
yeah,
There were
yeah.
times that I feel like I don't feel my feet. I bought myself a good pair of Nike shoes. I can't wear them. My neuropathy flares in those shoes. It's very
Oh,
uncomfortable. I have special socks. My mother found these warmer socks. I've tried tight socks that they use for
the
diabetes.
compression, right.
I've tried everything.
That doesn't help. That didn't help.
It did a little bit. I'm
Okay.
improving. I can't complain. I'm doing better now. On top of the Full Fury, I was on
Mhm.
a drug. Now I'm going to say it wrong. Okay. It's something like bevacizumab. And what I understand it is, I'm no doctor and I don't even want to understand during treatments because it makes
Sure.
me too nervous. I understand that it's a targeted therapy and it blocks a protein called VEGF. So basically, in English, I think that it's basically it steps um, it stops the cancer from making new blood vessels so that the tumors can't grow. That's what
Okay.
I understand. I don't know
Okay.
anything.
Sure.
I cannot be on, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take immunotherapies from my understanding. And I would like to tell you why. I wrote it down somewhere. Um, I have some kind of mutation that is quite common. Now, I don't know if it's common with all type of cancers or if it's common with in general. It's
Okay.
called, I don't know, it might be the KRAS something mutation. I don't know what I wrote down. I think it's the KRAS mutation. So my body will not react well to immunotherapy. So
Oh,
unfortunately, all those treatments are not
Sure.
available to.
They're not for you, right?
Now,
Okay.
I was in touch with an organization that's trying to help us,
Mhm.
and they emailed me and told me I might be a candidate for a trial. Now, I was feeling very healthy, and when I
Mhm.
got this email, I started being nervous because this trial involved taking two biopsies from my lungs. A biopsy, I don't think would be a very easy procedure. It involved me going to the States by myself multiple times, and it would involve me getting very sick. And I'm feeling well right now. So I would have
Right.
to make a decision anyways. So my husband and I are busy talking about it. I'm researching it only to find out that the study is closed right now. It might open again. So I think God has decided I should not. My answer is
It
made.
just wasn't for you, right?
It's not for me right now. Maybe one
Sure.
day there'll be another trial, but did
Sure.
I really want to get sick like that and have to go through this? I'm not
I
sure I wanted that when I'm doing well.
I don't envy any of these decisions. Because I mean, it, maybe you would be sick on the front end, but it would be worth it in the back end. But then again, to sacrifice feeling as well as you do now for it to all be
Might work.
you're
I
right, for an unknown result. I understand. That's six in one hand, a half dozen in
But
the
you know how
other.
I look at it? Like I was in a trial study and there was no benefit to me. And my
Uh-huh.
doctor explained to me that it's not for me, I'm helping others. So
Right.
when you're going through these,
To keep
can I
that mindset. Yeah.
can I mention a famous lady now who a sweetheart of a lady who I followed who recently passed away?
Sure.
Um, okay. Her name was Chrissy Derrick. You could give her a follow, guys, because her husband still follows her page. I imagine they're monetized. He has little kids at home, and he works part-time and does this part-time.
Uh-huh.
And she dedicated, she knew she was dying, and she had a very rare sarcoma. And she's one of the reasons I started this journey. It was a few of these other cancer pages that I spent 2 years giving love to till my
Hmm.
therapist said, you got to get off of this. And I started my own page. And it was very sad. She recently passed away. She has three beautiful kids, a loving husband. You could see their love. And I think the day that she passed, there's a picture of the baby beside her. She wasn't awake, but it's very, very hard. I was very
Hmm.
sad because she almost got approved for a trial treatment, but I don't know if she was healthy enough. She was really unwell and suffering.
Oh, that's
And
unfortunate. I'm so
she's,
sorry to hear that. But I
yeah.
think this takes us to the core of why I found you and why so many others have found you, because you do keep this mindset. It's it is my journey and I'm going through this, but what can I do that's going to give someone else the information so they don't have to go through the same path?
And
And
I want my page to be happy. That's
yes,
why I don't know how much time I have. That's why I'm sending out so much and I'm
no,
hashtagging so many because
sure,
I want to meet Celine Dion now. I want Oprah to
right,
sign my book now.
right,
I have these crazy ideas. I hope there aren't people that are jealous because they are. And I wonder why in the world is somebody jealous of cancer? But I want to go on America's Got Talent. I sent them my poem, but I didn't apply. I don't want to be on the show. I want to
right,
be on one of their shows where they invite people to come and to sing that aren't contestants
right,
because I want to sing my song in front of Howie, in front of Simon, in front of all of them, Terry Crews, because they're
right,
in my song and they
right.
brought me happiness.
Yes,
And they don't know that I have a song.
I
They
know.
don't know that people are hearing it and crying. And do you know what? I got to sing my song the other night. Okay. I don't sing.
Where?
There just happened to be like God is putting these things in our place. My son Brody would not sing. The rest of the family sung, brought
Uh,
tears to my eyes. My husband was singing. He doesn't sing. My Harris sang beautifully. They sang Billy Joel. Oh, this is an incredible story. So I got to sing Knocking on Dream's Door. I literally had about 15 minutes to prepare it. I'm making my family a steak dinner. I had to tell them that I went to have the surprise arranged. And they did karaoke, but they didn't have my words, right? And
uh-huh.
all I had was a messed up version. And I wasn't looking at my phone. So I'm going like this and I missed the line. It's horrible. Do you think I should share it on Facebook so you see
I
me?
would love this. Absolutely.
You have to listen to the
I
end.
would I would absolutely love it. I can't imagine anybody else wouldn't enjoy it.
It was very difficult. My husband was crying the whole time. You could see me
Yeah.
looking at them. I stopped myself from crying. I got emotional at the end because
Yeah.
at the end I gave a little speech. And that's what I want to do. You'll see, I say, I want to go around the world giving motivational speeches.
Sure.
And I'm
Sure.
trying to encourage my husband. Let's go and make a difference. Let's tell people what you're experiencing because
Mhm.
he's suffering terribly.
I think you are already on your way. Honestly, you do have such a nice following. And I think that that is something that I would like to elaborate on as far as what your family goes through. And if you want to do it in this conversation or you want to wait until
I
next
think I want to tell you about
conversation.
all the chemo side effects because there's a lot that
Okay.
people, but I have to tell you one thing else. This is really touching. I hope it doesn't make people cry. I'm busy. My phone is dying. I'm sitting there at karaoke. I'm happy. I did it because I didn't know if I would actually do it. I was
Sure.
smiling.
Sure.
There was joy in me after performing my song. And I texted Macy and I wrote, I did it. And because she was encouraging me to send Celine Dion, and I go, okay, I'm going to do it. Give me a Celine Dion song. And she goes, I wish we could sing together, she says.
Oh.
So I said, what song? And I believe my brain, okay, I think we did My Heart Will Go On. So I
Uh-huh.
say to the go, I want to do My Heart Will Go On. I had 8% less on my phone. I called Macy. I put her up to the microphone and we sung it together.
Oh,
And
that's fantastic.
once I said
Wow.
goodbye, I told the audience how wonderful this woman is
Oh,
because how can she possibly be on social media? She multitasks and she's blind. I don't understand it. She's
right.
amazing.
Yes.
It's
Oh, is
amazing.
that beautiful? What a beautiful experience.
And I sort of made her the promise that I'm going to make it happen for us.
Yeah,
Together, we're going to make it happen. We're going to
sure.
go meet Celine Dion. We're
Yeah,
going to do it. My
right.
husband thinks everyone must think I'm crazy, but I'm not saying when. I'm saying I'm 99% sure that I'm going to go and meet this lady.
Absolutely.
I've
Right.
known all my life. I have a
Yes.
very strong connection to her
Yeah,
that I would need to share with her. I
right.
have questions because I believe that I sold advertising space to one of her best friends. I had an advertising business for many years. And there's a florist that I connected with. And he told me the story how Celine Dion bought him $6,000 cowboy boots. And I don't think he's lying. I really think he's best friends with Celine Dion. I
Uh-huh.
don't, I would like to clarify and hear from her herself if this is
Sure.
true. He's the
Sure.
nicest guy, and he used to advertise with me in
Oh, how
Toronto.
nice. Okay. See, it
Yeah,
becomes a very small world.
it
It
really
really, it
does.
really, it really becomes, and I think you are closing the gap for a lot of people. I think you make it feel like it's possible. Everything is possible. And if we take just your journey alone and the fact that you were not guaranteed another month. You weren't, you mentioned that they couldn't tell you if you would be around, and you're still here and you're still spending your time trying to close that gap. You're trying to let everybody know they're not alone. You are able to verbalize your feelings through your poetry, through your music. I just I don't think that the answer will ever be no. I think great things are coming and your platform is incredible.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
incredible.
Thank you.
You're fueled by such a good intention. I,
And when Facebook posts 13 times, that's not me. And you know that's not me because they would block me. Facebook takes every time I post my poem, it posted it 7 times. And last time it posted it 13 times. I didn't even know.
I
I don't
remember
know why
that.
it's doing this to me. And
Right.
I was told not to delete them. And it looks like my page looks like garbage. Why? It does this every single time it sees my poem. And
Mhm.
it's frustrating. But I have to tell you one thing before we go on to that. I
Sure.
believe, tell me if I'm wrong because my brain fails me. I think I wrote a poem to People magazine. Did I? Do you remember seeing
I
that?
think you did, yes. Well, you
Okay. And
hashtag People Magazine.
no,
I'm
but
guessing.
I think I wrote them a poem and I was their second top engager. They have millions. I was their second top engager one week. I stopped doing it because it hurt my hands. I had to spend just 10 hours alone on their page. And when I did that, I was very saddened because I saw a whole bunch of people like me, motivators who had cancer. During that one
Yes,
week, I saw one
yes.
or two people. We're sorry that they passed away. And I'm sorry, People Magazine. I want you to see me now while I'm thriving. I want you to
Right,
do an article on me while I'm alive, not when
right,
I pass away.
right, right, right.
I want to share happiness. So
Yes,
while I'm
yes.
healthy, I don't care in the next month. I don't care if we drop our lives, pull my kids from school. I want to go and do things. So I'm
Hmm.
going to tell you about chemo that I experienced this.
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
do want to get to that. Right.
Okay, so my chemo fog is very bad. It involves forgetting words. It's hard for me to have a normal conversation because I don't know what we talked about 5 minutes ago and I might repeat myself.
Hmm.
Um,
That's
if
okay.
I met if I met you last week, I won't recognize your face.
Oh
So
boy.
you could be my
Sure.
son's friend. He came to the door and
Yeah.
I said, "I'm sorry. Are you Marvin or are you Kevin?" I really don't know. I'm sorry. I have problems in my brain. That's what I have to tell people. It's so
Uh-huh.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
I have concentration difficulties. I have difficulty multitasking. My poems are much harder for me to put together. Short-term memory slips. Like I told you, it's hard to drive a car. I have poor sleep. It makes the chemo fog worse, or maybe the chemo fog is making the sleep worse. Hormonal changes. I believe that the cancer itself has perhaps caused inflammation. I do have inflammation from the radiation. I don't know if it's gone to the brain or not. Um, Now, some other chemo side effects that you might experience, I already talked about neuropathy. Many people experience a lot of nausea. Don't be afraid, people, if you do. There are pills for that.
Hmm.
So I was given a lot of nausea, especially on the Fulfiri and on the other Benza, whatever it's called. They gave me, first of all, they gave me an injection. It was a very painful injection before my second round of chemos. It was to prevent nausea.
Uh-huh.
They also, before they started your chemo, they gave me like half an hour of a nausea drip. On top of that, I have nausea pills. I don't know the name of them except that they're orange. And unfortunately, I needed to start taking them again. I have them. I haven't needed them in months. And they also give you after you, they gave me, I don't know about the States or I don't know about anybody else, but I also, for 2 days after the chemo, I had special nausea meds and I had, what do you call those? I had steroids.
Oh, you
I
did.
took
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
for 2 days I took that. So if you do experience nausea, guys, it's not like it used to be back in the 50s, 60s. They have things to help you. Hopefully your nausea is not that bad. I can't complain about my nausea during chemo. I could only complain the past 3 weeks. I've been experiencing quite a bit of nausea a few times a week.
And are
And
you
it
having
knocks,
good results with the anti-nausea meds?
truth is, this week I've been chewing peppermint gum.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I needed to take my metamorphy, my hydromorphone, which is stronger than morphine, and it's not working. So
Okay.
my headaches are bad. That my husband's saying, "What if you have brain cancer?" We're terrified. We're sitting here enjoying our trip, crying
Right.
half the time,
Right.
hiding it from the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difficult time to watch my husband cry through my song. I
Hmm.
mean, that would have gone viral just to
Right.
see. It's very sad. Okay, so I want to tell you about fatigue. Fatigue is very normal when you go through chemo or when you go through radiation. Hi, Harris. Um, Sorry, I can't talk right now. Um,
Did you have
my
it during and after, or was it more so during?
Um, it lasted quite a while, but remember, I have three small kids. I have my husband
Adds
who
to it.
just
Sure.
changed fields and is
Mhm.
trying to, he's busy getting his business up and running. He's busy running around to conferences. He's not always with me. And he's suffering. So I've always been the one preparing all the meals. So last year, through complete exhaustion, I was the one preparing all the meals for my family. The very odd day, I would say, Harris, Brody, could you pitch in? I can't. I was almost at every dinner meal. For my second round of chemoation, I met a wonderful organization that I'm not going to mention because I don't know if I'm allowed to mention them.
Uh-huh.
And they started sending my family 3 to 4 frozen home cooked meals a week. The organization where they got the food from, it touched my heart because, as you know, I have a background with special needs children.
Right.
And that particular company hires adults on the spectrum, adults with special needs, I think. They hire a wide range of people, and it makes me so
That
happy
is
that they're
beautiful. Right. Yes. And
isn't
you
that
were the
nice?
recipient. You're an advocate, and then you become a recipient of their.
But let me tell you this, they're sending me mostly frozen meals, okay? I was so sick that I couldn't even heat up the frozen meal and I wanted to do it. I didn't want to ask for help. I will rarely ask for help. I know everyone's saying I should, but I
Mhm.
don't want to put all the burden on my husband and my kids. They don't understand. My husband's already doing so much else. My kids are suffering. So I decided that I'm going to bake that lasagna, okay? Now, I have a friend of Bryce's, and I reached out to her to thank her recently, who really helped us out. And both Harris and Bryce were swimming at their pool that day. Okay. I was nauseous. I was in the middle of my chemo. The chemo was out of my arm, so she didn't know it. And I was lying in bed all day long. I got up for 6 minutes. I should have asked my husband to, it was literally a 3 minute drive. I can't tell you how difficult it was to get in the car, to drop them off, to bring them home.
Oh,
And I
no.
decided I'm going to heat up a lasagna. Now, it's not my family's favorite meal, just my husband, but they sent us lasagna. We're going to enjoy it. It was very tasty, a very high-end quality catered lasagna. I
Uh-huh.
put it in the oven and I'm in my kitchen. I've never felt worse. I go outside to sit on my porch because I was out of my skin, climbing out of my skin. What do I do? I put it in with a little piece of paper on top of the tin foil.
Oh,
I
no.
did. I had always taken that paper off, but I thought that it belonged in the oven. I almost had a fire in my kitchen. The whole kitchen stunk. I opened, the fire alarm went on. I opened up. My husband, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm sorry, whatever.
Was,
This is what happened. I didn't know. And he goes back to his office and whatever. I sat in the kitchen waiting for this lasagna and I felt miserable. I take out the lasagna. I didn't ask for help. I dump half of it on the floor.
oh, no. I was afraid that's where this story was going.
And you know what I did? I served the family food I couldn't eat. I'll get to that in a minute. And I said, Rand, kids, I'm sorry, I can't join you tonight. I must go up to bed.
Yeah.
And for about 3 days, I couldn't join my family for meals, and they had to cook for 2 days because I
Oh,
was just too sick.
yeah.
So the
Yes.
fatigue is real. The fatigue,
Yes.
I go up and down the stairs 20 times a day. I force myself because, also, what am I going to do staring in my
Mhm.
bed? I'll tell you why. Because chemo causes sleep deprivation
Mm.
and I could be up for 36 hours at a time. And I didn't have my page back then. I didn't start till November. So what was I doing? I was doing nothing all night. I was
Right.
staring at a wall. And guys, you could be up at night. Now I go in cancer patients and I write, who's up? Or
Yes. Yes. Yes.
because everyone's saying put my phone away. I put my phone away, but I slept 45 minutes the other night. It's 2:15 in the morning. What am I going to do? At finally, remember, I'm 3 hours behind. I called my mother at 7 in the morning. It was 4 o'clock in the morning,
Her time.
California time.
Yes.
And my mother reminded me that she used to have some kind of hypnotherapy. I hope she doesn't mind that I'm saying this. She used to have a cassette. So I get off the phone with her at 6 or 7 in the morning. I go online, I look up hypnotherapy. I
Yeah.
found a therapist. I found a YouTube video. It
Uh-huh.
took me 1 hour to finally fall asleep, and I slept for an hour and 15 minutes. I got 2 hours of sleep is all. That was after 3 days. Last night I got 4 hours sleep, so I'm thankful.
Oh my gosh,
So
Joy.
so you could experience sleep
Right.
deprivation. It's very common. I didn't know this.
Well,
Nobody told me
I
this.
really appreciate you actually having that conversation because the appearance is you're on vacation and you're well and you're enjoying yourself, but the reality is quite a different story. The reality of what it's taking for you to be in a different location is
We
it's
almost went
real.
home. We
Yeah.
almost went home.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's going to take up a couple of minutes. Can I share my story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, I reached out to my mother and my father and I said, if I don't get sleep tonight, I'm going to have to come home because I don't have the money to go to a doctor here
Uh-huh.
because I was on vacation 2 years ago with a PICC line, which is tubes down to my heart, and nobody where I was could do it. And I called the emergency room. I called no, none of the doctors would do it. It was going to cost me a minimum of $2,500 US to clean my PICC line. And I reached out on social media and a man contacted me that night as I was at the pool. My husband was in the room, he was depressed, whatever he was. I get a message from a guy telling me to come tomorrow morning to a certain place. My daughter's going to do it for you. Okay? I went
Oh,
to I went to this family's place. I couldn't believe what I saw, the most gorgeous vacation home you've ever seen in your life. They had the only Tesla in town, some kind of beautiful thing. And they took the time to help a girl from Canada patiently. It was very difficult because the doctor had taped it on.
uh-huh.
Okay, she was a young nurse. If I'm not
Sure.
mistaken, her mother might have also been a nurse. They sat there, they talked to me in their huge, I've never seen such a mansion of a place. And they took the time to make sure that it was cleaned properly. They wouldn't take a penny from me. And they gave me relief because I
Right.
was going to go the 10 days without getting my PICC line changed, which is very difficult. So
Uh-huh.
I almost left California because I called the ER in Montreal the other day, and there's supposed to be a service to talk to an on-call doctor, an oncologist. And
Sure.
they, after an hour wait, the ER department says, "What are you talking about?" So I said, "What do you mean, what am I talking about? I've used it before." I talked to the receptionist. She said, "We got rid of that service in June. We no longer cover
Are
oncology and
you
hematology."
kidding?
And my friend told me to reach out to a man called Ben Mulrooney. Okay, I'm not going to share more. You could research, people could research that
Sure.
themselves. They
Sure.
very well might know who he is. I wrote him a beautiful advocacy poem and I tried to post it on Facebook, but his hashtags are disabled. So
Oh.
I went on to LinkedIn where people rarely hashtag each other.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling I could reach him on LinkedIn, but guess what? He's a third connection. I can't
Oh,
hashtag him.
you
I
can't.
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Mr. Ben Mulrooney, my friend told me, I think you'd like to have a conversation with me because we're both on the same page. The
Uh-huh.
healthcare is not what it's not fair. It's not fair that the
No.
chemo's not open 24 hours a day,
No.
that people have to wait while their chemo grows because of lack of nurses or whatever. I don't know what the reasons are,
Sure.
but I want to advocate in my own city and help people
Yes.
because I have so many ways that I could help others. So why not?
Right.
Um, let's go on.
Okay.
Loss of appetite is a huge part of chemo. I lost 20 pounds. I was 99 pounds prior to my diagnosis. I went down to 79 pounds at my lowest. I was so skinny. It was terrifying when my son said to me, "Ma, what's wrong with you? You look like a skeleton." And he didn't understand.
Right.
And at that point, I had just lost for no reason. We don't understand why my hair was thinning. I was on vacation for 3 days. My hair fell off in clumps. I'll talk about that after. And I looked like a cancer victim. And he's like, "Ma, you got to gain weight." I went to my husband that night and I said, "Babe," he says, "you don't look good." He also said, "You look horrible." And I said, "Rand," I texted my mother, "I need to go to the hospital. I don't feel well. I feel like I can't breathe."
Oh,
And I
no.
remembered one of my favorite singers, Karen Carpenter.
Mhm.
how she passed away.
Mhm.
And I don't have an eating disorder. I never have. Maybe I do now. I struggle to eat. To me, food is like poison because I can't eat. For the other day, I went to a restaurant called Sizzlers. Have you heard of it?
No.
I made a post. It's the best restaurant I've been to in 7 years.
Oh.
And I sat there. I ate 2,000 calories. It's a buffet. It's clean. They treated us nicely. It's got nostalgic music. We had the time of our life. And I enjoyed, there's a video of me drinking water because my taste came back that night.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's another thing we haven't really, your appetite is one thing, but
That's
sometimes appetite and taste are going hand in hand, right? Because if you
that's
can't taste anything,
so for me, it's recent, the loss of taste. During Full Fox, food tasted like metal, water
uh,
tasted like metal, and some people can't put a regular fork in their mouth. Some people I hear, even to this day, 5, 10 years either, they have to use plastic. So for me, that side effects went away. When I
oh
took
good.
Full Fury, what did I get? I didn't know about this. I got mouth sores all over my mouth that trying to eat, I was on a diet supposed to get 1,500 calories. If I could eat 500 calories, I was lucky. It hurt me to put food in my mouth. I had sores all over. There's a treatment for that. The hospital gave me samples. I don't can't tell you the name of it. If I believe it tasted like licorice, and
Did
it,
you
it
have to
was
swish it in your mouth?
had to swish it in my mouth. Now, I'll share this with the world. My father's a very wonderful dentist, and he knew that there's a medication called Magic Mouthwash. I got a prescription for Magic Mouthwash, and it was different than the other one, and it got rid of these mouth sores. But do you want to know what happened?
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, my treatment was every 2 weeks. I would be infused at the hospital, come home with chemo in a pouch. We could talk about that another day.
Okay.
Um, it would happen. The same spot in my mouth every 2 weeks would reappear.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
And
Uh-huh.
it it was so sore to eat. It's like you have an open cut, right? And you can't put suntan lotion. Bryce has an open cut. It hurts
Right.
him. So
Right.
I couldn't put food in my mouth. My mother's like, you have to eat. It was so
Hmm.
painful to eat. And now, months later, 3 weeks ago, before I came on vacation, I drank tea one day and I couldn't taste it anymore. And it was never that extreme. And I said, Ma, I can't taste tea. I said, Ma, I can't taste food. I'm putting it in my mouth and I'm not tasting food anymore.
So you're
And
off treatment, you're off medication, and it just randomly,
it randomly came back for
okay.
3 weeks. I had
Ah,
very little taste. I could taste a few things. And when I went to Sizzlers and I posted that video, guys, I was trying to be funny and be joy. But when I was drinking that water in that video, I
yeah.
tasted it. It tasted like the best water I've had in my whole life. And when I ate that green pepper, I tasted it. I had